Oh, hey there. So, this morning, exciting day. We got in the shower door. That's kind of a big deal. I hate doing shower doors. We got everything cleaned up, all the floors done, and we clear coat everything one coat. So it still looks real streaky and stuff, but how amazing is that? Now, do you know anybody who is a compulsive liar? Do you know anybody who lies when it's easier to tell the truth? Let me tell you one quick story because I find this to be amusing. Now, when I was a teenager, I was probably 19, and there was a younger girl, 17 or something like that, and she would call every guy around, all the Christian guys around, and talk and complain about her life and stuff. We didn't all know till later that she was talking to every one of us at the same time, but she was. And so, among other things, she said, I was a prostitute in California for a while, and somebody was tricking me out. I'm like, wow, I'm really sorry, that's horrible. She's like, yeah. Then in another conversation, and I got pregnant. I'm like, oh, yikes. Another conversation with twins. I'm like, okay. Like, where are your kids now? Because you live with your parents. She's like, the dad got them. I'm like, so you were a prostitute and some guy got you pregnant with twins and was like, nah, I'll keep the babies? Like, I don't know if that adds up. You should probably think, she's like, the court said that he could have the kids. I'm like, that's not right at all. Like, I don't think that adds up. Usually the girl gets the kids anyway, but like, in that situation, I feel like you would definitely get the kids, because how would he even prove? This was before DNA test and all that. And she goes, oh, good point. I should fight for custody back. And then she, on another conversation, she says, turns out both my kids died. I'm like, what? And you didn't know about this? She goes, no. I'm like, well, how'd they die? She's like, crib death. I'm like, they both died of crib death at the same time? Like, do you know how rare that is? Do you even know what crib death is? She's like, yeah, no, that's what happened. I'm like, I don't think that's accurate. She goes, you know what? You're right. I'm like, how long ago did that happen? She goes, a couple months ago. I'm like, why didn't you tell me till just now? Then another conversation. I called the DA or the coroner or somebody in California and said, this seems fishy. And they're like, you're right. And they dug the kids up, and then they did tests on them, and then they realized they didn't die of crib death. They both died of cocaine overdoses. These were infants. I'm like, what? Is this real life? She goes, oh yeah. Yeah, they both died of cocaine overdoses. I'm like, how? She's like, I think the dad gave him too much cocaine. I'm like, what? Why would any cokehead want to give his coke away, let alone to a child, so that they'd be more crazy and scream and cry more? I'm like, none of this stuff adds up. Well, after a while, all the guys kind of started talking to each other. Go, hey, you know this girl? And they're like, yeah, man, she's got some crazy stuff going on. And then we started comparing notes, and it was all over the place. And we're like, do you just need attention? Like, I don't understand why you would say this wild stuff. Like, it's eventually, the truth's gonna come out, okay? So now, when somebody starts telling me like wild, crazy stories, I'm just like, maybe. And they're like, you're not shocked by this? I'm like, nope. They're like, I walked to the sun today and it was cold. I'm like, that makes sense. They're like, really? I'm like, I don't care. Like, whatever you want to say. If you want me to believe it, sure. Yeah, that's fine. People are like, man, I could tell you anything. I'm like, yep, you can. And you'll believe it. I'm like, I won't fight you on it. I'm not going to call you out on it because I don't care. Right? If you want to tell me some wild, crazy lie, I'm like, maybe. And people are like, but do you believe it? I'm like, no, not even a little bit. But I just don't feel like arguing with you. If you want to lie, go right ahead and lie. I don't care.